Alexandra, thank you so much for being here. Let me ask you just sort of the overarching question here as these jurors, start digging right into this case in their deliberations. Do you think the prosecutors actually made their case? Do you think they met the burden in this one?
So this is a circumstantial evidence case. And when it's a circumstantial evidence case, the jury only needs to believe that it's plausible that there is something else that could have happened. And I don't think they did it in this case. I think Alan Jackson, in his closing argument, did a masterful job of explaining to the jury that the defense position makes more sense than the prosecution position. The injuries don't make sense. The cover-up actually makes more sense. But he doesn't have to prove that there was actually a cover-up. Being in the defense position, all it means in a circumstantial case is that there has to be a reasonable explanation that points to innocence. And even if there's a reasonable explanation that points to guilt, as long as there's one that points to innocent, the jury is directed to throw away the explanation that points to guilt. They have to, because if there's any doubt, any reasonable doubt, the jury has to accept it. So in this case, I don't think that the prosecution proved that it is unreasonable to believe that this is a setup, which is crazy to say.
Well, it is crazy, right? I know. I can't believe we're having this conversation because I do think that what the defense was able to put forward, especially like during cross-examination and then in their case in chief, is some serious reasonable doubt, some things that just didn't make sense at all. But at the same time, let's go back to that thing. It's crazy to think of a conspiracy. It's hard to convince jurors of a conspiracy. It's easier to convince people on Facebook of a conspiracy. But what do you think about this? Like, how difficult will that bar be for these jurors to get over and think, maybe that did happen. Maybe the cops did frame her?
After listening to both of those closing arguments, the strongest point that the prosecution had was that she said over and over again, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, which makes sense for her to say if she had no idea that she hit him. It doesn't make sense that she would say that if she did. Why would she go there and confess 4 times? That doesn't make sense. So the fact that the defense closing made so much more sense, it just baffles me. It makes it so much easier to digest that this is a possibility. Again, they don't have to prove that it was a conspiracy. They have to prove that it's reasonable. And in this case, it is. The defense tore apart every piece of evidence. The injuries don't make sense. The taillight evidence doesn't make sense. The fact that the video was mirrored and that the prosecution never told the jury that the defense is the one that had to tell the jury that video of the tire moving when the prosecution is arguing that the car never hit anything in order to break that taillight, every single piece of the prosecution's evidence is questionable. Every piece.
I keep coming back to My Cousin Vinny. Remember the line? I shot the clerk. I shot the clerk.
Right.
I shot the clerk.
Exactly
I shot the clerk. Yeah. Where's the question mark? Yeah. I hit him. I hit him. All right. Yeah. One last quick question because I only have 20 seconds left. But I just want to talk a little bit about Karen Reid walking through all those sidewalk jurors, right? Those jurors, the real jurors, have to come to courthouse every day. They're going to see those signs. They're going to see all those protesters. During George Floyd, they had to move all of those anti-Derek Chauvin people away from the courthouse so that the jurors wouldn't see all of these, Black Lives Matter placards. But they're not doing that necessarily here. Is that going to have a big effect?
I think so, because the jurors are going to sit there and say, am I reasonable in thinking that she could be innocent? Am I crazy thinking that this might be a setup? And going out there and hearing all of these people saying this is a setup, I am a normal person, I'm not a crazy person, and I believe it's a setup, tells those jurors, yeah, that's reasonable. That doubt that you have in your head is reasonable. And that's all
especially with 200 to 400 of them, as Alex Capriola just reported, 200 to 400 people outside that courthouse. That's
and it's not
small.
a political movement.
Alexandra Kazarian. What's that?
It's not a political issue. They're talking about the evidence.
Right.
So it's huge.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.